How's everyone been?
I'm alright.
I'm really tempted to take a picture of the outside. You're claiming that it's jacket weather? Yeah, no.
It's really nice and sunny here.
Well, you have to remember that this is the southern hemisphere.
We're opposite to you.
Everything's backwards.
Do you know that when you flush a toilet, it spins the other way down here?
That's what I've heard. That's something about drop bears is an Australian thing.
I don't know. Like the water in my toilet doesn't spin when I flush it.
You need to get yourself a equally defined special toilet then that actually does properly flush.
Uh-huh. Right, let's test out this volume. Don't take alarm. This is just a test.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll leave the volume like as is because that's the default volume. You just turn it up or down on your end.
Gotcha.
In the master volume thing in the options.
You sound the same volume you always do.
I'm talking about the music. You probably have it turned off.
Oh.
Yeah, I know it does. Hey, Kev, do I have my old token or do I have my fancy new token? I forget. I think I have the old one.
Let me check, shall I?
I would appreciate it.
You are using... Huh, where did I leave your tokens? Ah, here we go. Yeah, I found them. I think you're using the fancy one, right?
Well, this is the one you made?
Yeah, the one with the pickaxe.
I have a new one. I linked it, but I can send it to you. It's actually like in the chat, but...
Oh, yes, I see it.
If you would be ever so kind.
No worries.
Thank you, sir.
Wow, it's a big file. Oh, no,
That's what she said.
it's actually pretty small.
That is what she said.
And what is your... You have dark vision, don't you?
I do. Love that half orc.
And let me set default token.
Oh, I'm a human. Damn it.
That and I'm on the cover. I'm on the cover of Tusk Love.
Oh, God.
The
XXL edition.
Oh yeah. He's like the big fat guy from Magic Mike. But how about that porn shop he made? That was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, so no spoilers.
no spoilers. Yeah,
I will simply say it is enjoyable.
it gave me a couple of chuckles.
I saw part of it before my internet decided that it wouldn't want to work anymore.
Yeah, Alpha cut out on me towards the end.
Oh wow!
Why are you riding a bike in the snow?
I'm not.
Obviously, she isn't because it's covered in snow. But
All
she
right.
wanted to.
To recap, does everyone remember what happened previously, or should I give a brief synopsis?
Recap would be nice.
Okay. So, you guys had been hired by a gentleman gnome, calling himself Mr. Fitzgerald. He runs the Diamond Path Wayfarers. Wayfarers are a group of people responsible for exploring newly opened terrain around the anchor stone of various districts, enclaves, in the city of Nexus. As you guys were meeting and discussing what would be involved, and kind of like him offering you not so much of a paid position, but more of a partnership in the business. He would handle all the paperwork and the contacts and the legal stuff, while you guys handle the legwork. While you guys were discussing this, an altercation not involving you initially started happening outside the store, whereupon a Goliath barbarian got into some fisticuffs with a bunch of goblins who appeared to have come from the outside, from down anchor, down tether rather. So, a brief scuffle occurred, which ended promptly when the auditor showed up. Yeah. After Mr. Fitzgerald vouching for you guys and a bit of a brief, not really interrogation, just more like a questioning, he determined that you guys weren't really at fault, and you guys you didn't break any of the edicts, so there wasn't any punitive action taken against you. He just simply froze all of the combatants and kind of used some sort of more powerful animated object spell that you guys haven't seen to animate these now objects, because statues are objects, to follow behind them to somewhere. So then you guys proceeded to the anchor house to ride the platform down, and you noted the ride down took about an hour, and you noted on the way down various landmarks around you, and I'll show you it again. In fact, I'll just check it. There you go. The various landmarks, you noted that of most visible is the 4 peaks, mountain range peaks to the northwest. You can kind of make out the edges of some kind of. Let me just check the exact view distance. Right, you can make out some sort of like a series of waterfalls feeding into some sort of lake system that's like at a higher plateau elevation from the anchor house. It itself, and there's a strangely colored, there's an island in the middle of this lake that has strange like pink and purple and violet hues on it. This lake feeds out a river that runs past the anchor house, Anchorstone town, and into a lake further to the southwest. That lake itself is around like a swampy, marshy area, and it seems to feed outlet further to the southwest. You can see to the southeast of you some sort of like a cove or a beach or something. You saw beyond this like immediate kind of like hilly, mountainous region that acts like kind of like a semicircular cup around the verdant green anchor, the anchor town, kind of sheltering it from the east. You saw in the eastern side, near the shoreline, a series of cliffs with some sort of like someone caught glimpses of like birds, like frolicking, dancing in the breeze. And then you saw just beyond the other side of this range, some sort of like weird area where there's a patch of forest that is just like there's a lack of forest and strange patches over the various places in this direction, like barren areas. And you saw in the northeast several wisps of like campfire or wood fire smoke. Not so much that you would suspect the forest is on fire, but enough that you would hazard a guess that there's some sort of like settlement in that direction. And that's all you remembered. Well, that's all I remembered anyway. Oh, yes, that's right. In the southwest, in that river that the town's stream feeds to, sorry, the lake that the town stream feeds to, there's some sort of metallic object glinting in the river. Sorry, in the lake. I keep saying river. Did I miss anything? Does anyone remember anything that I missed?
I forget, I know we all had like a certain job.
I got the charisma earrings.
So you have the talkie thing. I think I have like a picture thing, a scope of some sort.
I know. I have the iPad. Sorry, the cartographer scroll.
Okay, so there's 4 objects that Mr. Fitzgerald gave you. One is the cartographer's like scroll thing that allows you to draw on a piece of paper and then pan it. Another one had a kind of like a binoculars kind of thing, whose job is the surveyor. He's responsible for marking down magically surveying objects and places of interest, so that prospective people who want to buy the claim from your business can kind of have like a, what's that thing in like various countries where like when you go apartment shopping you can go into like virtual reality and like explore the apartment from the comfort of your own home.
That's a thing.
3D tour?
You didn't know that was a thing?
I mean, I suspected it was a thing, but I didn't know.
Yeah, but that exists now. But basically like that. There was an airing that I think allowed you to verbally comprehend languages, or was it tongues? I can't recall exactly what I said it was.
I think you specifically said there was a spell on each one.
Yeah.
So I think you probably said tongues on one and comprehend languages on the other.
Yeah. I don't think I said both.
I feel like, someone correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like there was a spell on each.
We can go back and, because I know Robin is recording these and putting them up in the video log section of the text channels. But I'm pretty sure it was comprehend languages only. It wasn't tongues. Because tongues is a slightly more specialized spell. There was one more thing. The treasurer, yeah. The treasurer has the company's index, which currently has the function that allows you to convert precious metals and like gemstones directly into glimmers and shards and chits, and vice versa. All right, you had received one primary job, which is the job that Mr. Fitzgerald was already contracted to before he even hired you guys. And that is to map the surrounding area 20 miles around verdant green anchor towns, the anchor stones vicinity, which is indicated on your screen as, can you still see? Yeah, it's indicated on your screen by this red hexagon.
Yeah, we can't see the red hexagon at the moment. Well, I can't.
Hexagon?
Yeah,
I can see
Now
that.
I can.
Right, indicated by the red hexagon. Additionally, the auditor and various bulletins that you've, and also the alpha in your party, Hell, has picked up like the scent, no, not the scent, the rumors of a job involving looking for another Wayfarer group that has gone missing about a week ago. Well, whatever you call it.
It's like, I know that smell. That guy's an asshole.
You overheard the rumors, okay? Is that better?
I'm not
of
sure
your
if
fucking-
overheard is the right word. Given
Because
I
of
fucking
your-
tackled the guy off a roof or something.
Are you saying that his ears are large? And
Yes,
that
that's
he
what I'm
always
saying.
overhears?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's racist.
I was going to say it, you beat me to it. Oh, he hears the elf ears? Racist.
But yes, you were told that this Windshore company headed off towards the southwest.
So all elves, super elitist, kind of, what's the word? No, just elitist. Are they elitist? Or am I remembering that wrong?
They have that reputation of being not so much elitist, but very very standoffish. Like they have a good reputation. Like they have a reputation that they get the job done, but they're very stern and not sociable. Yeah, so you were told that they headed southwest following the river downstream. And the reward was
1,000 kilometers. I thought it was 10 at first, but I was corrected later.
yeah, it was 1,000 kilometers. Simply to find out what happened to the Windshore, the Windshore company, and possibly bring back their bodies, or them if they're still alive, which is somewhat, well,
Unreasonable as fuck. Like, they gotta be heavy.
like there's there. Okay, so in the job board that you went to see at the Nexus branch, there was no mention of bringing back their bodies. It's just simply to ascertain and locate their whereabouts and bring back proof that you found them.
On that note, though, do we have access to the job board? Because I'm looking through the notes and I can't find it. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong place.
Well, here's the thing.
We didn't write down what was on the board.
I will leave it
Is
up
it
to one of
infections
you.
and interest?
Yes, it is infections and interest.
Meh.
In fact, I will give you guys access to factions and interests so you can write down
Oh, okay.
additional stuff.
No, that's fine. I had all of those subtabs closed. That's fine.
Right, and additionally, you were told that there was two other companies that had various special interests in this area. The two of them are mutually exclusive, though. Well, they're not mutually exclusive. They just say they're at odds with each other. You could do both. Nothing stops you from doing both. So, what are your plans as you arrive at the top of this obsidian pyramid, measuring about 300 feet at the base for all four sides? The platform descends through a circular opening in the ceiling, in the tip of the stone. In the tip of this pyramid, and you arrive inside a well lit platform chamber. Various other people around start unfastening themselves from the seat and going about fetching their various belongings and getting ready to move some cargo and some goods.
I'm going to start surveying everything. If I could have, I would have surveyed the other people while we were strapped down on the way down.
So you're just the guy with the Kodak camera, like taking.
I'm that tourist. Yes, absolutely. If I could, I'd have a fanny pack.
Okay, so you've been clicking away on your surveyor, and you notice that out of the corner of your eye, a number has appeared. Initially, the number just said 1, but as you finish clicking away and taking pictures of like the interior of the anchor house and everything, the number went up to 2.
Oh, okay. So is there a limit on this thing? I don't know if you probably would have told us.
Well, you never asked, and Fitzgerald never told you, so.
All right, yep. I'm just going to, unless anyone stops me, I'm going to keep doing it.
All right, so what is the group's intended goal at the moment, like short-term goal? Where are you going?
Find cool shit.
Away from these three.
Where is the nearby highest point of elevation? Or a high point of elevation nearby? Because I was going to suggest, hey, let's get somewhere high up so we can have another look around.
All right, so directly outside the west of town, you guys can see that someone has already, as you exit out onto the town, and I'll mention that the town is fairly small. There's like outside the anchor house, there's some sort of like a newly fashioned inn or tavern. There's a sign out front with a precariously tilted mug with like half the contents almost sloshing out of it, and it says the Stumble Inn and Tavern, which you've already been to, Hal. Directly opposite that is some sort of like a warehouse. It's currently open at the moment, and you can see various people, teams of people shifting in and out what looks to be tools or building material.
And there are a couple of shingles missing from the roof.
Well, yes. Since you know what you're looking for, yes, there's a couple of shingles missing from the roof. To other people, like, it just looks normal. And then to the further south of that, there's some sort of like a water mill on the side of the river that's attached to like a medium to small sized sawmill, and currently hard at work producing. Well, I don't really know if they'd be called 2x4 planks. They've been producing planks. And then to the north of the tavern and warehouse appears to be some sort of like a fabricated not improvised. Shit, what are they called? It's like those barracks that look like they've been put together rather quickly. What are they called?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's clearly some sort of like a shed / barracks building up on like raised stilts. And then you can see heading further west out of town, someone has cut a series of like tamponed down and made like a dirt pathway. Dirt pathway with every 30 or 40 feet like a torch post. Currently not lit because it's during the day, but clearly that torch post is meant to be lit at night so that someone can always have a clear path all the way up the hill. And it heads up the hill about 300 or 400 feet. And at the tip of this little hillock, that's the west side of town, overlooking the river that runs past is like on a bluff on like a peninsula that in the crook of the river. There's like a small hillock, and there's a 3-story watchtower or guard post. And you can see from this distance that there's two humanoid figures at the moment currently making the rounds at the top of the guardhouse, at the top of the watchtower. That would be the highest point if you wanted to immediately look around town.
Oh, no, I was talking about terrain features, like and Nick 6 over and so forth.
Oh, well, it depends how high you want to go. The highest points that you can see within your line of sight from where you're standing is this mountain range. Is this hill/mountain range directly to your east? That kind of forms like a cup-like thing.
So I reckon maybe it's best to get a pie somewhere. Get a good look around again, you know?
I agree. I need to dig all the pictures up there.
There you go, now you're thinking good. Any other suggestions?
Well, do we need it? I mean, do we need anything from the store over there? There was a store down here, correct? I believe there was.
You were told that Denny at the Drunken Inn the proprietor of the Drunken of the Stumble Inn Tavern, runs a little bit of a side business as like an equipment salesperson.
Or we can go get drunk. I mean, he didn't say we couldn't get drunk.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I maybe save that till the end of the day, shouldn't you?
Well, I mean, I guess. And I'll just start walking in the direction of the hill.
Hey, hang on a second. Does anybody need to buy something before we head out?
When we're heading to that large metal object?
I mean, yeah, but
Well, we go see what he had, I guess.
she's still just hanging on Mel's shoulders.
Yep. Apparently.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. I didn't bring one with me, which is really stupid if you think about it. I need to go get a fishing pole. I'm going to do a lot of fishing.
Hey, I had no complaints from me.
And then I'll go towards the Stumble Inn. See
Alright.
if he's got any fishing equipment.
Alright, so you entered the Stumble Inn Tavern, and despite it's like 9 a.m. at the moment, you'd expect it to be largely empty. It's actually fairly. I wouldn't say it's busy, but there's definitely patrons around. Most of them look like they are either drinking. It doesn't smell like alcohol. It's like tea or something. And a couple of them are like eating what appears to be a late breakfast. There's like a band of dwarves, like 3 or 4 dwarves, in the corner, with what looks like woodsman axes leaned up against like the booth, and they're currently like perusing over like a piece of paper, and one of them is kind of like not really giving orders, but kind of like pointing towards the table and talking about something. And you see from behind the counter, there's 2 people. One is the familiar-looking, not really personable construct of some kind, and it's still polishing that glass. Or maybe it's the same glass, maybe it's a different glass.
I mean, I'm no expert on glasses.
Yeah, but beside him is a portly-looking fellow. He slightly balding on top, dark hair, kind of like a slightly balding, but like he's like combed it over kind of thing. And he has like a broad grin on his face. And when he sees you enter, he just like raises like an arm in greeting. sees all of you entering, rather.
Yeah, I make a beeline straight for the bar to order a drink.
Okay. Yeah, he did. Then he very affable. He's like, hello. What can I get you?
Scotch.
We
Me.
do have scotch. Oh, one moment. And yeah, in quick order, he pours you a neat scotch, and he hands it to you.
I'll take it and I'll go and sit down somewhere comfortable
Okay.
and just watch the other guys while they're doing whatever they're doing.
Now, is there like a separate area? I don't know if you guys have Cracker Barrels in New Zealand, but it's like half a shop, half a restaurant. Is that how it's kind of set up, or is it just like tell them? Is there other stuff by those axes?
I don't know what a Cracker Barrel is, unfortunately.
You're not missing out much. But it's like literally, it's one store. Is a half a shop, another half is the restaurant part.
Yeah, most Cracker Barrels are like almost Amish type furniture and country style mix and knacks along with quilts and whatnot. And the restaurant's kind of like a comfort food heavy restaurant.
Oh yeah. Well, I will say that there's definitely signs of people eating like a hearty breakfast. In New Zealand, we call them like, what is it like?
Big breakfast.
Yeah, big breakfasts. Yeah, like sausages, eggs.
What the Americans call, I think, an English breakfast.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, with the beans and everything.
Beans?
And the blood sausage.
I know. It's what it is. That's what they call an English breakfast. It has beans in it.
Yeah, it always has baked beans in America, the English breakfast. But the breakfast in England never has beans in it.
I feel like I've been lied to my entire life.
But how I would like for you to roll me a perception check.
Right. Give me a sec to open my character sheet up. Holy shit, I can open it in a new tab. This changes literally everything.
I did not know you could do that.
No, I didn't.
How long have you been playing on Roll24?
Like a year and a half? No, I was holding because my hold to speak or whatever button is control. So I accidentally control clicked the open character sheet button. And like, I am blown away, man. Jesus. Shit. 14.
All right. So as you approach the counter and Tylos is ordering this drink, and
No, I've already ordered it.
Yeah, and you watch as Tylos like takes a booth nearby, and you catch out of the corner of your eye a familiar figure. You see Jimmy.
Jimmy is the one who fell off the roof, right?
Yes, Jimmy is the one who fell off the roof, and he currently is in a corner booth by himself. But like the reason why you didn't notice him initially is because he seems to have he's a gnome, right? So he's only like 4 foot so, but he seems to currently be measuring 2 foot so because only his forehead is sticking above the table. He kind of has slunk down stealthily until his forehead is just above the tip of the table, and he seems to be shaking or something.
Hal's gonna smile and wave at him.
Uh,
But she's not heading over to him. She's just,
Okay.
yeah, that's enough torment.
all right. Yeah, and Denny, after servicing Talos, turns and say, "Hi, whoa, you're a big one." He says to Shit, it's not Rum. Why?
No, it's
why is
not.
your name Rum?
I don't know. I have to fix that.
It is Honu. That's right. I remember names. Yeah, he says, "Whoa, nice tats," and he pulls up his left shirt sleeve, and there's an anchor tattoo with a mermaid wrapped around the anchor.
Oh, brother, you got some nice tats yourself.
Yeah, and he nods and he says, "Oh yeah, I got this over at Deep Blue."
Oh yeah, I got these for beating people in the pit.
He gives you an eyebrow lift. And then he says, "What can I get you to?"
Well, I need a drink since we're doing drinks, and I need some fishing tackle. Do you guys have that here?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I must. No one quite knows what's in the rivers just yet, so you must be. I suspect you're a very apt fisherman yourself, so but yeah, we definitely have tackle. Just be careful, eh?
There's only two things I do is I throw nets and I throw hands, and I'm good at both. Don't worry about me fishing.
Oh, so do you want like a pole or a net or like a spear?
I can use a little bit of everything.
He nods and he says, "Gotcha, a full kit." What do you want for a drink? He nods over towards this like clockwork construct beside him.
Oh man, I don't even see one of those. What does that do?
And he says, well, I don't quite actually know. The previous crew, the Outrider crew who founded Verdant Green, put this thing together and sold it to me. It's not exactly the smartest bucket of bolts, but it doesn't need rest, so I leave it up for the night shift.
I'll just take whatever you got. This I guess a beer or ale, whatever you got, man.
Okay. He knocks on the construct and he says, "Hey, get the gentleman an ale, and I'll be right back." And he as the construct pours you a tall ale, he comes back with like a fishing spear, which is like this lightweight spear with a barbed hook at the front.
Yeah, a gig.
And it's wrapped around, like there's a net wrapped around it with weights and also like a small tackle box.
That's exactly what I need, brother. How much for that in the drink?
The drink would be like 1 chit. And the scotch was like 2 chits, by the way. I forgot to mention that. But the tackle, I need to consult the equipment. I don't think there's actually fishing gear. Is there?
1 gold piece for fishing tackle.
2 gold pieces for a scotch.
No, 2 chits, coppers.
Oh.
If
How many coppers to a gold?
For 1.
Glimmers are golds, shards are silvers, and chits are coppers. And there's no platinums.
How many silver to a gold?
It's 10 silver for a gold.
And 10 copper for a silver?
Yes, that's right.
Correct.
And if you want to sell me a net that's the weapon as well, that's a gold as well.
I'll say to the bartender, how much for the rest of the bottle?
It'll be a silver.
I'm taking
Sorry, a shard. Even I'm fucking up on my own currency. All up, the kit plus the kit plus the net plus the spear, he'll charge you 2 glimmers.
Well, happily, I'll go to pull out like something out of my sarong, like a little pouch. But they're like, "Oh yeah, it's this thingy," and I kind of stick out my wrist.
Yeah, and he just clasps his index with yours, and you hear like a sound of like coins jingling, and then and he nods at you and he says, "I hope you. Hey, tell you what, if you catch anything like special out there, bring it back here. I'll buy it off you. We could always make a fish of the day."
Oh, don't you worry, but if I'll bring it back. You just cook it for me, and we'll split it.
And he nods towards you, and then turns towards Hal and says, "Madam Elf, what can I get you?"
I'll just take a glass of water.
Okay. He understood. And he reaches underneath the counter. Fiddle, there's a bit of like glass clinking or something, and you hear him pick up like a jug or something and pour a water, and then places on the table.
Thank you.
He doesn't ask for any money or anything. Water is free. Anything else I can? And he notices the halfling that's asleep on your shoulder, and he just nods, like not to wake her up.
And when he does that, I'll loudly say, "Hey, he wants to know if you want something," and I'll kind of like nudge her.
He grins, but otherwise doesn't object to your your supposition.
You're about 5 more minutes.
I never heard of that drink before. She wants 5 more minutes. What's that? How does it taste?
Maybe it's something foreign.
Yeah, go ahead.
Denny grins, but he just says, "No, I think she wants to stay. I think she wants to sleep in. If you'll excuse me for a moment." And there's like another couple that's come up to the counter, and he moves off to take their orders. And as you take a look around, how Jimmy is still there, but he's like returned to a more upright seated position, and he's like, you catch him like carefully not looking at you, like very carefully not looking at you.
I've already tormented him enough for today.
And yeah, and he still has like a bruise on his cheek. But yeah, what are you guys doing?
I'm sipping my drink and waiting for the party to buy their stuff.
I think the party has bought their stuff, unless someone else has something else.
Well, let's go then.
How much do we have?
I've got a bottle of scotch.
100.
Yeah, I paid for the fishing stuff out of my own stuff, so it's not even charged to that.
You currently have 400 glimmers in the company log that Fitzgerald has said that you guys could spend on, outfitting yourselves.
Oh,
We should
absolutely.
probably buy like tents and some rations and stuff like that.
All right. Well,
rations. I'm gonna catch all the fish, brother. We'll be fine with that.
I don't know about you, but I don't think I can live a fish my life.
Oh man, it's the best.
I mean, as long as they're different kinds of fish.
We don't even know what we're gonna catch. Well, I'm gonna catch. It's gonna be great.
all
What
right.
happens
So,
when we move away from the water?
Oh, that's a good point. We might want to get some rations.
I can find stuff.
Yeah, she can do that thing. And I'll
Well-
catch the fish. We'll be fine.
I don't know about you, but I like somewhere comfortable to sleep.
Didn't you start with a kit? A pack or whatever?
Did I? No.
What's your background?
Entertainer.
oh, that's why.
Your class gives you a pack, I thought, too.
Oh yeah, most classes give you a pack. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I totally looked at that part of the characters.
What's your class?
I'm a wizard. Or am I?
I can just sleep
Okay.
anywhere. I ain't worried about that. But
So you
guys
get
know what you need.
you get a Skulls pack or an Explorers pack.
I would get a scholar's pack.
So yeah, I think you still need a beard.
Yeah.
So I have a book of law, ink, pens, parchment, sand, and a small knife. Sounds really useful.
I mean, you could always pick the explorer's pack. That's like got most of the.
No, I would definitely have picked the scholar's pack,
Okay.
knowing my character.
All right. Well, you have 400 glimmers to spend.
I've got money of my own, so I'll just go and buy myself a nice tent.
All right. So I'll let you know that Denny, like, his prices are pretty standard, straight out of the PHP. Doesn't have any markup or anything. And you can find most things that you can find in the player's handbook, except for he doesn't sell things like acid, alchemist, fire, holy water, that kind of stuff. And out of his healing potions, he says he has 4 in stock. He used to have 6, but the Windshore Company bought 2 of them.
I will buy his nicest tent
Okay.
and 4 more bottles of scotch.
He asks you if you want the small tent or the 4-person tent.
I want the nicest tent possible, so the 4-person tent,
Okay. So
just for myself.
so the 4-person tent costs 4 gold instead of 2.
Okay.
And it weighs 30 pounds instead of 20, but we're not really tracking weight here.
Thank fuck for that.
And how much are the 4 bottles of scotch? So that's 8 silver. 2 each.
Let me look it up. I seem to recall that.
You said 2, so
Yeah,
Oh.
you're right.
Cool.
And each bottle has, like I said, it has about 10 pourings.
Okay.
Because decimal systems, yay! All right, so let me know once you've finished your purchases, and yeah, like Hal did, just like post them in the chat log, and we'll keep track of them that way. And also, if you're spending your own money or the company money.
I'll spend the company money on my 2 glimmers.
Although here's the funny thing: who's in charge of who's the treasurer? The treasurer again?
Me?
Yeah. So here's the thing: you have the power to veto their purchases because you're the treasurer.
I'm buying all out of my own money, so
Yeah, I mean, you have the power to veto their purchases if they're using the company money.
Well, yeah, I'll ask her to buy the fishing stuff.
she's asleep, so it's fine.
Yeah, we'll turn them around so we can does she have the company thing is huge, isn't it? Compared to the normal.
It's like the size of an iPad, yeah. While yours is like the size of like a smartphone. One that fits in your pocket, or one of those huge American ones for huge American fingers. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like that's almost racist. I've never been able to use the race card ever, but if you keep that up, I'll get to it. Well, I think
like
it's not
that's
really
racist.
ways. Yeah.
All right, let me know once you finish your purchases.
I'm done. Maybe we should get some more rope, because if we're going to climb a lot, I mean...
I think
I
I got
got
50 feet
about-
already.
I got about 100. I got 50 each. So I got the nice silk stuff, and then I got the hemp stuff. I got about 50 each.
I'm gonna get 3 rations.
I'm going to take a picture of that weird, the machine he has. I'm going to take a picture of that.
Okay.
4 rations.
Oh, we don't need rations per day.
So
I'm still gonna get rations just in case.
just in case, yeah. So when you take a picture of the construct, there's a like a text scroll that pops up around it, almost like a UI thing, and it says it has like a serial number, like an alphanumeric serial number, and it says unknown construct, and like the serial number would indicate that this thing has already been cataloged.
I'm still taking a picture of it. It's neat.
Yeah. And it says it has like information like classification construct, and then it has like origin unknown, manufacturer unknown, model unknown, and various other types of information that like doesn't really make much sense to you.
It's just fancy words. I don't care. Click.
All right. But yeah, I think Luna, you have like Outlander, don't you, or something?
I should.
So yeah, as long as there's like game in the area, or like berries and stuff growing, Outlanders can forage quite easily. And yeah, verdant green is known for its abundance of life. It's not like you're in a desert with no water or anything. Shifting sense.
But why would we end up there? That would be silly.
Yes, no reason at all.
Let's head out.
I mean, the area around us isn't going to come to us now, is it?
Well, I hope not. And I'll get up and I'll say, well, come on in, and start leaving.
So which direction are we going? I reckon
We're going
east,
to that-
maybe.
So we're going to that middle object near the lake so our friend can fish.
And take a picture of it.
And
Yeah, I
yes,
suppose so.
And also, you heard that the Windshore Company left that way as well.
Yeah, I mean, the hills aren't going to go anywhere, but an adventuring company might.
That's a good
That's
point.
not
We should
reasonable.
go.
We follow a river then.
shall we then?
Right, so as you leave the tavern, Denny waves at you and calls out, "Good luck!"
That guy was nice.
Yeah, and you guys head out of town. There's some sort of like a guards change. There's a couple of guards headed up the path towards the watchtower. One of them catches sight of your group and just gives you like a nod, like an acknowledgement. And you head south out of town following the river. You pass by the sawmill. There's the familiar looking, like, they're not the same group, but like they're in the kind of like the same outfit kind of type deal. There's like a group of dwarves hauling like a felled tree or a log or something, and you catch sight of like their outfits. They're wearing these little insignias on them, with what looks to be a log built kind of like house or something, like a shit. What are they called? Like the A-frame houses? You know, like the classical when a kid draws a house.
Like a log cabin type deal?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I just don't know what the word is for it.
Yeah, I think it's like
It's just a straight up triangle shape, right?
when a child builds a house like that. Oh, actually, no, you can't see that because of view distance.
I can see it.
Like that. And there's an S in the triangle and there's an H in the square section. And they grunt at you, not really having enough energy or time to acknowledge your guys' presence as they hold this like this. Actually, it's actually quite impressive seeing 4 of these like short, stumpy doors holding this massive trunk behind them without the use of like a cart or something. They're just holding it across the ground with like ropes
They're
across their
strong.
shoulder.
I ain't never fought a dwarf before. You think one of them wants to fight?
I think they have jobs somewhere. You can't just walk up and scrap someone out on the middle of their job.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to like snatch him by his beard, but I'd ask him. But you're probably right. They're working.
Maybe when we come back after they've had a few drinks.
Oh man, I heard dwarves love to drink and fight. That'd be fun.
All
We
right.
can make this our evening destination if you like.
Well, let's go see if we can find them people, and we'll just go this direction and start heading towards the middle object.
All right, so following the river, and the river, at least immediately out of town is rather like there's actually paths and stuff that you expect various of these loggers and other type of ranger types have already made forays into the forest. This like this little light colored forest area is just like pretty clear terrain. You can move at the standard speed. Anywhere else in these like deep colored ones, you move at half speed. Actually, no. You have wanderers and wanderers and stuff in your party. Does anyone have any part like class or background feature that allows them to travel at speed through like difficult terrain?
Nope.
Or at least like forests or whatever.
I can guide a boat.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't even worked out my feature yet.
Yeah, no worries. So in ideal situations, your party can travel about 20 miles per day. And that's like along these green squares. Once you start getting into this darker, I'll move you that direction so you can see what I mean. Once you start getting into these darker shades, that it's like counts as double the distance, unless you make like a really high survival check. Well, actually not high, just like a 12 or 14.
How bad does the river look? Like, it might be better to cross it and then venture along the other side, since it's clearer.
The river actually is pretty tame. It's not rapids or anything. It spans about, at its widest, it spans about like 100 feet in various sections.
I mean, we've got broken shit. Honu's pretty tall. That might get Luna across.
Yeah, and at the sections where it's like 100 feet wide, it's like really tranquil. Like you could easily swim across it with no issue. When it compresses down to like sections where it's like 20 feet wide or 30 feet wide, yeah, the current's quite fast. You wouldn't want to cross there.
We can go over to fish in the lake too on the way through.
Well, that and maybe if we had to, we could float one of these here trees. Maybe we should have got one of them axes. I mean, you can't. I kind of hold up my weapons like this is good for hurting people, but not for hurting trees. And then I guess I'll run back and buy one of those axes, and I'll spend my money since I don't have the thing.
Oh, right. What kind of axe would be a woodcutting axe, Kev? Because I had an axe from my whatever not profession, the other thing, background. I had a hand axe, but a wood axe would have been more fitting. But I didn't see one on the item list.
Yeah, I would allow you to buy like I think it would be the functional equivalent of like a hand axe. It would cost the same as a hand axe.
So I'll just get one of my hand axe.
It would be. I would say you wouldn't be able to throw it, and that's about it. And it would be.
Fine. I'm not going to use it for fights, but literally for chopping down trees if we need to.
Just call it a wood axe, and it costs 5 glimmers.
Would I be able to swap the one in my?
Yeah, sure.
Thing? Yeah, because I brought it expressly for the purpose of cutting down trees.
Oh, you were smart when you thought ahead.
Well, no, because she's a carpenter.
I mean, if you want, I can burn all the trees down.
Okay, I have a suggestion. Let's not do that.
I mean, that would probably be faster, but I don't think you can really float across a burnt down tree.
I suppose if we burn enough, the water will go away.
You build a dam.
Exactly.
I like how you think. She's a smart one.
I am the smart one.
That's what I just said. And then I start keep walking.
Oh, by the way, I should mention this to you, Hal. Are you still carrying Luna?
I feel like she probably tried to, yeah. Hal would have tried to for a while and been like, nah, fuck this. Putting you down.
Alright, so there's a bunch of squirrels and chipmunks and rabbits following her.
Yeah. Is that where we're getting our food from?
I like the picture. She's like a Disney princess, but with like instead of birds, it's all like squirrels and shit.
It's kind of.
I'm the only one who thought that.
It's kind of. I mean, it's a little bit weird. Like you noticed this before. Like beforehand, it was like hummingbirds and canaries and sparrows and the occasional dove.
As long as they don't shit on me, I'm quite okay.
Actually, none of these animals seem to interact with you guys in any form or way. They seem to land on her shoulder, like or various like parts of her when she's sitting down, they land in her lap. They crawl up in her lap rather. But like when you guys try and touch them, like your hand just passes straight through them. It's as if they're not even there.
I'll whisper the hell. I'll be like, those things are pretty needy. This is going to be willing to be on her all the time.
And then also kind of a little bit weird, like kind of whenever she's like, oh, an acorn, like one of the squirrels would like jump down from her shoulder, run over her, pick up the acorn, and bring it back to her and hold it up to her like.
They can pick up acorns, but we can't. What?
Yeah. They seem to be they seem to be non-interactive. Like when you try and touch them, they're incorporeal, but they still have the capacity to pick up small objects and bring it to her. And it just seems to be whatever catches her attention or fancy.
I summon my cat, and it's probably going to spend the rest of the day trying to catch all these incorporeal things.
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys can summon all sorts of neat things.
But my cat, this time when I summon it, looks a little different. Because now I'm out in the wilderness, right, Kev?
That's right.
So it looks more like it's made out of crystals.
Yeah.
You look at Hal and say, what can you summon? What animal you got?
Positivity?
That counter? I like it. I'll give you just a big goofy smile.
Can you guys control our hero's token?
Yes, supposed to say.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Is it intentional or is it accidental?
It's intentional. I mean, I suppose you guys, if you wanted to, could just move it all over the map and look it around. But I would prefer if you guys did not do that. Okay.
Since you asked us not to, I will not.
I didn't even think about it until you said it. Now I want to do it. I'm not going to.
Well, most of the stuff is on GM layer anyway, so you would just be able to tell like the geography, and that's about it.
That would be fine.
So like that. That's Tylus's cat at the moment.
I'd say it looks like the cat from Star Wars, from the new Star Wars.
Oh,
Crystal fox type things.
Oh, those. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Does Zero know what he's talking about?
I have not seen it, but I will act like I do.
Unfortunately, I'm a Trekkie born and raised.
Yeah, that is pretty as hell.
How do I link an image, Gib?
It's the square brackets, and you just put like cat in it, and then like the round brackets with the link. He's talking about this thing.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's pretty nifty.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, so you guys head out of town. The river, the stream/river here is rather tranquil. You could ford it here if you wish to. I'll ask you this when you head out of town. There's a bridge in town. That actually, when you walk near it, you see that the watchtower itself is actually built overlooking this bridge, so that the guards in the watchtower can keep an eye on who or what is crossing the bridge, either in this direction or over it in the other direction. I'll ask you this before you exit town. Do you exit town on the west side of the river or the east side of the river?
Which side was the inn on?
The inn and anchor house on the east side of the river.
Because I feel like we probably would have just gone, hey, which way are we heading? We're heading this way? Oh, right, let's head south. And just gone on whichever side. Any opposition to that, or?
Works for me.
None. I'll just follow you guys.
I'm gonna look in the river and see if there's any like fish like jumping or like any movement?
There's no fish jumping out of the river.
Oh,
Can you see any fish like
Actually-
in the river?
You know what? Roll me a perception.
this is gonna be grand. Not necessarily dumb as a brick, but maybe like a stack of bricks.
Wow.
Do I see a fish in the water?
You do. You do see signs
Right.
of fish in the water. Can you roll me a... You know what? You got super high perception roll on... So you guys are standing near the bridge, and you're deciding if you want to... Actually, no. You said that you were just going to leave town. So you exit town. You pass by like a bend where like the path edges right on the edge of the river. Like the river's right beside the path, like overlooking. And you look down. There's like what are they called? Like water crests or whatever in the water. And then Tyler's like, and then you ask like, I wonder if there's fish here in the river. And Tyler's like looks over the side of the river, sees some fish, and then just points his finger at it. And this lance of fire flashes out from his hand, smashes into the water, and there's this massive steam explosion, like someone threw a stick of dynamite into the water. And you guys just watch as like 6 or 7 fish like float belly up to the top of the river, and then just start like floating down the river towards the southwest.
I'm gonna take my new light gaming spear and like spear one and like hand it to her. Go, this is yours. You killed it. Ooh,
Yeah.
you kind of cooked it.
You do that.
They're
easily
all
enough.
like cooked as well.
I wouldn't say that they're like well cooked, but they're slightly charred, yeah, on the outside.
Oh yeah, they're raw in the middle and completely charred on the outside. You keep it. It's gift to you, I'll say.
I'll take a bite out of the charred part. It ain't that good, and throw it back in the water.
Next time we'll use a proper fire.
Maybe. But those ones, they dead, boy. Whew, you kill them.
All right. So, which direction are you guys headed in? Yeah, I think you said southwest. Southwest.
So west from here, following the river.
Sure. It's technically you guys are about here.
We could still be in that hex we were in, though, couldn't we? Like on
Yeah.
the edge of it, so to speak.
Yeah.
So could we move here for our next movement?
Yeah, definitely. So you guys travel further southwest, and you're still following a path. So like, there's no issue at hand. Like you don't need to roll any kind of checks or anything. It's impossible to get lost in here, unless you're like just utterly incompetent.
You underestimate us.
I'll take a picture of the floating dead fish, by the way.
Okay. It says when you take a picture of the fish, it says Gilcrest.
Does it give you any recipes?
No, not so far. And then there's like a sub tag, like the person who like has already like named the species. Like you assume that this is a person who discovered the species and named it. And then below it has edible, and it just has question marks.
I'd probably say not.
It didn't taste very good.
But yeah, so at about noon, about just before noon, you guys reach this like major bend in the river as the river turns from heading from a southwest direction and more of a westerly direction. The path is starting to peter out, and you pass by like what appears to be like some sort of like a woodsman's. I wouldn't say house, like it's more like a shed. It's like an open shed, just in case there's like bad weather or something. Like the nearby workers or something could gather here and stay out of the rain. But beyond that, it starts to become like wilderness further towards pretty much all directions.
Kev, are you right with me putting little icons on the map for
Yes,
places? we
definitely.
need?
Definitely. In fact, that would be amazing. And I'll move them to the map layer as well, so we won't like accidentally delete them.
Is everyone still there? Time drop.
No, we're still here. We're just
Oh.
drawing circles, apparently.
Fuck yeah, circles.
In
I
fact,
have to curl circles. Fuck yeah.
maybe I should do it.
Maybe.
Yeah, you can do that. Get rid of my stupid little circly things.
Let me just do this. Actually, it's probably a smarter idea. What's a good token?
I mean, you don't want something that'll cover up the land features, do you? It's like, I'd think something with a border. Yeah, that's good.
No, that's bad. I want a color that's like
Red.
For purple, it's good.
you reckon?
Actually, what does a white look like? Ah, that's awful. God. I reckon try move it into the dark area and see if it still shows up in there. Like, move it to the right one hex. Yep, that still shows up.
There you go.
Excellent.
All right. So, yeah, you guys find this way station. Let's call it a way station. And there's like a single path that heads further to the west, but otherwise it just pretty much peters out around here. So you guys said you were turning west, yes?
I'm voting west.
Yeah.
Do you stop for lunch here at the way station?
Sure.
Yeah, and if there's someone there, I'll ask him if that group that we were looking through, if they came through this way.
There is no one here at the moment.
Okay.
Let's search the area.
We might as well look around.
All
See if there's
right.
any footprints.
Roll me either an investigation or a perception check, depending on what you're searching. If you're searching the way station, if you're searching for tracks, survival. If you're searching for game nearby, nature.
I cast good berries, so we don't need food. However, we could search for pictures.
All right. You cast Goodberry. Who do you give it to?
I give 2 to everyone, and I get the extra
Okay.
2.
And who eats the good berries?
I'm not eating them.
What am I supposed to do with this?
1 berry makes you nice and full.
Oh, I doubt that. I eat a whole bunch, and I'll throw both in my mouth.
So it doesn't make you full, but it's nutritious enough that you could survive off them. Like the full is more like a volume type thing, right?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what it does taste like. It tastes like Barocca bee if you've tasted it before.
I have not.
Does everyone know what I'm talking about, or is that like more like a
Yeah.
New Zealand thing?
I know what it is.
I know what Brock is.
It tastes like one of those vitamin supplements
Oh, okay.
that you drop in water and it like fizzes to like a orangey drink.
Gotcha.
It has a sweet taste about it, but it also has like a very thick Like you can tell that there's a lot of all types of different vitamins and nutrients in here. And then your pee is yellow for the rest of the day. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So with a 16 survival, you can tell that that this area was last used around about 2 days ago. A group of about half a dozen came through this area and they headed east. You can see the signs that they had gear with them, because like deep set footprints, clearly carrying equipment. How you scout out the surrounding like area around the way station. You don't find any signs of any like persons, and if there was wildlife in this area, they have chosen to avoid this particular structure. Luna, you and your friends, make a survey around the surrounding area. You don't see anything beyond what Hal sees. I mean, you see mostly what Hal sees, but just from a lower angle. Yeah, I'm making fun of you. Never mind. And that's all the checks. Yep. Did Hano do anything?
Yeah, I rolled a survival at 16.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Hano. Oh, did Tylos do anything?
Yeah, I'm having a look around.
Okay. Tylos, you looking around, you see further away to the west, as you're taking a look around. You wander off like from the way station about like 50 feet to 60 feet, and something catches your eye, and you kind of like lean down and kind of like brush away, and you see that there's a broken arrow shaft. A broken arrow shaft, like the bottom end with the feather. And
investigate it.
Yeah. You like pull it out of the, unearth it, pull it out, hold it up, and like it's very finely made. Like this is top quality craftsmanship. The arrows are off some sort of like a goose down. The shaft itself is made out of some sort of
Do I remember
flexible.
the party that was going away had a ranger in it? With my keen mind, would I remember that?
You don't remember any mention of rangers, but you were told that they were all elves.
Oh god, they all have
So
bows.
yeah, all of them could use bows.
I'll take the arrow back and I'll be like, I think I found a sign of something of those elves that we're after, and I'll hand it over to Hal.
Yes.
Right?
She's busy ogling their, handiwork of it.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
an alpha arrow, isn't it?
It looks
Doesn't
that
look
way,
like-
yeah.
Are you? Sorry, are you a half elf or an elf? Would I know?
No.
I mean, I don't want to like offend you by accident being like, oh,
She's an elf.
It definitely has that look about it.
Like an it?
No, I mean the arrow shaft.
Probably.
Like the arrow shaft is slender. Like it's more slight than normal arrows that you see. Yet the shaft itself is like made out of some sort of dark wood. It's flexible yet tough. And like I said, like the quilt, the feather is some sort of like goose down that's been dyed like a lightish teal color. And you can tell that whoever made this arrow spent way too much fucking time on it. that's how you know it was made by an elf. Everything made by elves, like, has spent way too much fucking time on it.
Yeah, she's keeping this arrow in a special part of her backpack.
Yeah, so you guys finish up your lunch. It's about 12. You finish surveying the area. You don't find anything else that either alarms you or intrigues you. Where do you guys head out?
Further west?
That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Yep.
So,
west.
could someone, whoever's leading the way, roll me a survival check? And who is kind of like in like the secondary kind of like Overwatch position, like looking out for trouble?
I'll be doing that.
Okay, roll me a perception.
The worst thing is my perception is only +2, so
Hell is never back.
Yeah, I would be probably towards the front, but not leading it because everything's confusing. This isn't beach. There's no water, no ocean. I don't know what to do.
And this is so I've got 3 positions for traveling. I should really have 4, but just to have everyone involved in something, I'll think up a 4th one. But okay, so the first position is the person who's kind of pathfinding. So it'll be a survival check, whoever's in front. And then the second position will be Overwatch, will be the person who's keeping an eye out for trouble. And then the third position is the party's luck die, is the person who will be blamed for getting the party into trouble because of their poor fortune dies. Could whoever's third roll me a 1d100?
That's
I got no problem doing that. If you
So
guys want to.
whenever you guys run into trouble, you can blame this person because they roll poorly.
It'll be me definitely. And well, no, you'll fireball everything, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let you do it.
Luna will lead. Although technically she's on... No, she'll be taking her time between Hanu's shoulders and actually leading.
Okay. So who wants to be the fortune die? Roll me a 1d100.
I think it should be Hal.
yeah, because I just roll a random position to see where she is at any given moment. She's probably never back. Oh shit! Oh god! Oh fuck.
Wow!
Oh god! Jesus
That's
Christ.
why you roll it.
I don't know
Wow.
if that's good or bad. Do
We're
we
about
die?
to find out when the dragon descends on us. It's amazing.
Whole-
High is good, right?
Holy shit!
We found the party, guys.
Now
I feel like this is a good time to post this.
so you guys find what appears to have. So as you guys are traveling your way, although you can thank Hal for this meta-wise, I'll say for the sake of narrative-wise, as Luna is leading the party and her little forest companions are like running out into the forest around her and then periodically coming back in singles, bringing her various like weird oddities like weirdly shaped leaves, like a funny looking twig, just things that are strange or entertaining. One of them comes back with a leather belt, and the belt has 2 healing potions affixed to it in loops. There's 5 loops. 2 of them have healing potions in them. And when you look, when you examine the belt more closely, it appears that the strap has snapped. Whoever is carrying this belt snagged it on something in a hurry. It like pulled it from them, and they must have not noticed or just have been too much in a hurry to stop and gather it. And you look at it, and the little cork stoppers at the top of this healing potions have little seal on it that has a tilted mug with ale that looks to be precariously about to slosh out of it.
That's what that guy said he sold.
So whoever wants to keep this belt can add 2 healing potions to the inventory, or you can pass it around, obviously.
I'll just put it in the party for now.
Oh, I don't need that. I'm invincible, guys. I'll be fine.
Regular healing potions?
Correct.
So 48 plus.
For the sake of like game wise, if you keep it in your party treasury, I'm just going to say that it's on. Who would be carrying the parties? Like, who would be the loot monkey?
Oh, I'd probably be the pack mule.
Yeah. So I'll just say it would be, for the sake of location wise, it would be on Hono's back or in his belongings.
All right, I will do so. Or we have a party thing, don't we?
Yes. Although I think Luna, are you in charge of it? We're just using the company decks to keep track of that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I have the next call Ludo open, so I got it all.
Pretty deal.
Do you guys take a look around to see where this leather belt came from?
Yeah, let's do
Okay, roll me a survival check.
that. Highest in party or one each?
I will allow advantage roll from someone if you guys say like you work as a group.
I
And
would
yeah,
just do what they told me.
highest in the party, and we'll give whoever that person has advantage. So who has the highest survival in the group?
I only have +2.
I think I do.
I have a +2 as well.
That's +2.
4.
Okay, so there you go. Luna, roll me a survival, and I'll give you advantage. Okay. So with an 18, you find nearby the riverbank a set of footprints. There looks to be some sort of a struggle. Like, it's clearly that someone was like running through the underbrushes, snap branches, snap twigs. There's
Can I catch the scent of another elf?
what the fuck? What the fuck do elves smell like? Like dandelion?
Fucking dewdrops on the morning grass.
I was going to say a vanilla candle.
You know what? Roll me a perception check. No, you do not catch scent of another elf. Fuck you.
Would you have given that to me on a 20 though?
Yes, I would have. You know, just because. Anyway, you guys find the signs of like a struggle of some kind, like there's broken branches, snapped twigs, there's footprints running through the like near this muddy section near the river, and then you see a. Actually, never mind. You wouldn't see that. So yeah, you see there's some sort of like signs of a struggle, and then at some point, you find clearly where the harness, the potion belt came from, because there's part of like a leather harness that's like fallen over like a jagged piece of wood sticking out from a trunk, a branch, broken branch.
Is there a body or anything? Can I investigate to see if there's a body?
So you find no body, but you do find that there's like a pack on the ground.
Can I look through the pack?
The pack has been torn open, so like it's not open. It's been ripped, and the contents are strewn all across the ground. There's like soiled ration packs that have been like just trampled. There's various things that you would find in an explorer's pack, but they're just ruined. The only thing that's still salvageable from it is the rope. The rope seems to still be in order.
I will add it to my pack. How much is it? 50 foot of hemp?
50 foot of silken rope.
Ooh, we got that fancy stuff.
That's elvish, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
and everything else is just being like either trampled or like seems to be maliciously broken, or maybe just carelessly so. You don't find any signs of a body, but you do find visible signs that someone or something has been dragged off towards the west direction.
Can I see any blood on the ground?
There are signs of old blood on the ground.
Can I see if there's anything else around the area?
Okay. Roll me a
Investigation.
perception check. Investigation. Yeah, I'll give you investigation.
Good.
I'll give you advantage because the rest of you are helping, right?
If I'm told to, absolutely.
Okay. You find a hexagonal bolt wedged deep into the trunk of a tree, near where you think the person fell, where the pack is. The bolt itself it measures about an inch long, and about shit. I'm gonna start mixing up my measurements. I'll use inches because we've got Americans in the party.
You can use the metric. I'm not a total dummy.
Okay, so it's about a centimeter wide in a hexagonal pattern, and it's about three centimeters long, and it's embedded itself about half a foot into the trunk of this tree. And it takes you like at first you just see what the fuck, there's like a hole in the tree, and then you like get like a knife or a blade or something, and you start like digging at whatever is inside the tree, and when you extract it, it's this hexagonal slug that's like 3-inch long and that's like an inch long and like quarter of an inch wide.
When you say bolt, you mean like nuts and bolts bolt?
Almost. So
Like a crossbow bolt?
yeah, if a crossbow bolt was only an inch long and is hexagonal in pattern.
Can I see if there's any magic on like around the area?
Sure. How do you do that?
I'll sit down and start casting detect magic as a ritual.
Okay. So you spend 10 minutes casting detect magic.
I was
and-
going to try trace the bolt in the meantime.
and you look around, and you do detect ambient magic. It's not like there's no source. It's as if
Is it like residual magic from something?
yeah, it is residual magic, and I'll let you know the school of it in a moment. I think it's transmutation, but let me look it up. Yeah, it is transmutation. Roll me an Arcana check as well. Okay, yeah, you can't quite tell like what type of transmutation magic, but it's fairly strong. Like for ambient magic, for like the amount of ambience that you're detecting, whatever kind of spell it is, it's pretty powerful.
I'll pull my little box out and I'll look to make sure that's not the source, and then I'll put it back in my bag.
Yeah, it's not the source.
She tells Holly to take a picture of it.
Oh, Hana took a picture. You know what? I should have said it. Hana took a picture of first the animal bringing back the potions, and then like everything here.
Okay.
Multiple pictures.
So you take a picture of the bolt.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it actually brings up additional information. It says ferrous steel.
Guys, this thing's a ferro steel.
And then it has like accompanying tags, and it actually has like an association tag, like as if like these two things have some sort of association linked to them. It actually brings up the picture of Denny's bartender, not the bartender, the construct that he has, and it has like a red box around the ferrous steel, and it tells you that the construct is made out of a similar material.
What was he doing way out here?
I mean, there might be something else. I'm assuming, does Honu tell us these things?
He did.
I mean, it might not be. It might just be a common material for the area. I think. Maybe.
Do we know if ferrous steel is a common material?
It's like it's not often used because it's like a high iron content steel, and while it's more tougher, it is also more brittle and more prone to rusting. Like all of your swords and stuff are made out of like steel with more carbon content. This is like a rusty steel basically. And yeah, as you handle this bolt, like yeah, flakes, like it stains your hand red from all the rust that's coming off it.
Oh, don't we know it wasn't made by an elf?
With it being only an inch long, not likely. The knowledge 19 nature, would I know if any creatures in nature use this?
Knowledge 19 nature, would you know what?
Like if
So-
they use this?
So Fae typically avoid cold iron, and this is edging towards that kind of territory. Like your steel weapons like would have limited effect against, like it wouldn't have the classical cold iron effect against Fae, but you would hazard that if you were to need to like engage Fae in combat or something, you would use high iron content weapons such as ferrous steel. But here's the thing, Fae is super rare. Like, you can't even recall the last time you've seen Fae in Nexus. Like, they're around, but they seem to be pretty shy, let's say. Alright, so what is the group doing?
I'm gonna look for tracks wherever
So
someone you
they're
said.
going northwest?
The tracks are heading west.
Does it look like something? You said looked like something was drugged.
Yeah, the whatever is being dragged looked like it was being dragged off to the west, and there's no effort to be. You can tell that there is no effort to be made about hiding, disguising this track. Like it's just blatant.
Can I look for like any animal prints?
You can roll me a survival, but I'll tell you that it's pretty difficult. Like the whole place is being pretty churned up. Yeah, it's too disturbed. Like this,
Gotcha.
it's like trying to find tracks in a battlefield. All right, so what are we doing?
We can follow the drag path.
Okay, so you guys follow the drag path west. Okay, so roll me a survival check, Luna, as you guys are following this drag path, and I will give you advantage. There you go, 24. So yeah, you follow the drag path deeper into the forest. You find signs of like whatever was dragging this body has been using some sort of bladed weapon just to hack vines and branches, and even a small sapling has been just like cut in half as the person just like clear cut a path through the forest. Like it's weird clear cutting. It's not just like a person cutting a path. Like there's one bit where like there's a bunch of kind of like bamboo looking saplings, but you could just, it's like clear, like you could walk like 10 feet like to the right and just go around it, and instead they chose to cut through this like bunch of sapling and just in a straight line. In fact, like you don't even need further survival checks. This dragging pattern has never altered directions. Like it's just going in a straight line. Like the only time when it actually like alters direction slightly is to go around a particularly like thick tree. All right, and then when you get to this section with the 24, you notice that for the first time, the path, you notice that there's a divergence of tracks along the ground. There's this clearly dragged path that's just heading westward. And then there's this, you guys are following the drag marks of the river, whatever was dragged off. You find that there's a separate set of footprints, series of footprints that kind of like diverge from this straight drag path to a more northwesterly direction rather than this like straight westerly direction. Like if I were to say it, it's like the drag marks are like heading like this way kind of thing, and then the footprints are headed kind of like this way ish. Like there's like a divergence.
I suggest we follow the drag thing.
Yeah, I mean, if we head any further to the north and we're going to hit the river, we're not going to be able to track anything through there.
And you, with your amazing survival check, I'll tell you that the footprints, the churn footprints that head off towards more northwesterly direction, it looks like there's a set of elvenoid footprints headed in your direction, so from this direction in your direction, and then being chased by like several like blocky looking footprints.
Follow the elf trail?
So you have two choices to follow if you're following the trails. You can follow where it looks like the elf trail originated from, or you could follow the drag marks to wherever the elf trail ended up.
I suggest we follow the drag marks. We're gonna find something fun.
Either way, yeah, so.
And I'm gonna take a picture of where they diverge.
Okay. Yeah, you get no additional information.
That's fine. I'm just taking pictures.
It is, however, I will mark this down in the chat log. It is, however, about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. You've got probably a few more hours of travel time before you have to break for night. And you are aware that you're like close to the river / the lake.
Why don't we sort of head and camp next to the river?
You read my mind. I didn't know you could read minds.
Okay.
I'll like hold my hands up and turn them like purple. I'll be like, it's magic.
Ooh, magic's weird. I like it.
All right. So do you guys continue pushing on to the river, heading west? So here's the question: do you head west or northwest?
West.
Okay. Okay. You head west. Arrive at the river's edge about half an hour before sundown or an hour before the sun starts going over the horizon. You find a rather peaceful looking kind of like a creek with like, it's quite wide here. It's like 200 something feet wide, a river, but the river is shallow enough that you can see that it's some sort of like a rocky ford. At the deepest parts, it's probably up to your chin, but you could probably like walk straight across it. Maybe at a couple of places you have to jump from a rock to rock, but it like you probably only get up to your ankle or your knees width, or alternatively for some people, it would still be up to your chin. That's another short joke. Never mind.
I would assume like, if we do go across, I'll carry her. Like, you can just,
Yeah.
don't want you to drown, little one. Get on up here. Whoop.
So do you guys make camp on this side of the river, or do you cross the river and make camp on the other side? By the way, the trail that you've been following goes straight into the river.
Is there marks on the other side of the river?
You can't quite tell from this far away.
I guess we're crossing the river.
I prefer not to be a great warning sign if anybody's coming over.
That works either way, from this side or that side.
Well, if whatever was chasing them came from that side, then probably we want to be on the same side because they would have come past us. Maybe.
I'll go with whoever the party decides, so either way.
Yeah, I don't care. I sleep wherever.
Okay. So post in chat then which one do you vote for, or if you abstain.
Yes.
I say we go across.
So that's 2 across, 1 abstain. So you guys head across the river. Like I said, easily enough, except for Luna. But someone said, Hana, you said you were carrying her, right?
Yeah.
Her little animal friends turn into ducks and otters and beavers. And they paddle across the river with her while she's sitting on your shoulder.
My cat is going to jump onto Hal.
Hal will carry the kitty.
Here's the weird part, right? I don't know if I recall telling you this, Talos.
Does it turn into a catfish as she's crossing?
No, his cat can fly.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Yeah, okay, they don't know that. Yeah, so your cat jumps on his shoulder. You guys didn't hear anything. That was privileged information.
I wasn't paying what? What happened?
Never mind. You cross the river, you get to the other side, and yes, you find the trail. It's clear enough. And in fact, you find, so now that it's like heading straight out of the river and it's less like churned up, you find 6 sets of footprints. Again, these blocky looking footprints, followed by this, one of them is dragging this, or actually 2 of them is dragging this trail, this body trail. Yeah, and you get to the other side. It's about half an hour before sundown. Makes sense to start setting up camp around about now. Or you could alternatively choose to push on.
I'm going to set up my bulletin for myself.
I'm gonna attempt to go fishing in the river.
Okay. Roll me is there a fishing check?
Well, when I did fishing with mud, because apparently I have to fish for every character, I just rolled survival.
I will say if you have proficiency in fishing, whatever that is.
I would say yes. He's done it for a living.
Okay. I will say that it is a survival roll because it makes sense that fishing would be wisdom because when you're fishing you need patience.
Oh man, yeah.
So you don't know if it's because of the location or it's something about. You know what? Roll me an insight check.
Oh, okay.
You're inciting fish. Okay, so it occurs to you that fish might choose to avoid such an area because it's shallow enough that like bears or game could just like stand on rocks and fish them out of the river here.
There's no fish in the river here, guys. It was a waste of time. It's not because I'm bad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, by the way,
I'm going to cast Minor Illusion behind him to make it look like a fish jumped out of the water behind him as he turns around.
If it's on the land, I'm gonna jump on it. Just like instantly pounce.
I did it in the water.
Right into the water. Oh no, if you did it in the water, I'd throw the net. But if it's on land, I'll jump on it.
I expanded the explored area just because, like, when you're inside clear terrain, you can see the adjacent ones as well. So you cast minor illusion and what?
I make it sound like a fish is jumping in the water.
I'm gonna throw my net on it.
What's your DC?
14.
Roll me an intelligence saving throw.
Yes. Come on, -2. It's not bad for him.
I mean, that's pretty good. Did you say your DC was 14?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
As you're turning around to pack up your fishing gear, you hear the familiar telltale sounds of a fish splash from behind you, and you spin around, but there's no sign of any fish.
And then I'll unpack my stuff and continue to fish. There's something around here.
All right. So, as you guys set up during the night, first off, who's finding the camping location?
I think I would like to do that because I wanted to do something like that with my feature,
Okay.
background feature.
And what does your background feature do?
I don't have one, which is why I'm asking, because she did like fortification engineering and that kind of shit. So I figured she might have a good eye for working out good, like, potential campsites.
Right. Roll me what would be an applicable investigation?
I have investigation.
Yes,
That purpose.
because I think it would be an intelligence kind of thing. So yeah, roll me an investigation.
Oh well. Oh shit.
So yeah, you find what you think to be a fairly well defensible location. It is up on like a little bluff. It's close enough for the river for Honu to continue fishing if he chose to. There's a tree nearby, like 20 feet nearby, that Luna, who has indicated that she wants to do so, can climb up into the tree and take a nap. And there's enough room nearby that if Tylos wanted to set up his 4-person tent, there's enough to do so. It's not like the most defensible location that you've ever seen, but it's easy enough for you to like dig a shallow pit in like the various choke points nearby and like fill them full of sharpened stakes.
Sharpened stakes.
I was just gonna like set up my pit tent and make a fire.
So yeah, you do so. You make some sharpened stakes. You fortify. Like it's not so much like these sharpened stakes won't stop anyone determined. By the way, I'm not talking about this. Isn't like some Roman fortification. It's just like it's more
No,
like
it'd take much more time for that.
yeah. It's more like if someone were to try and assault your camp, or wild animals were to try and assault your camp, it would kind of more funnel them into a choke point, like path of least resistance kind of thing. You're just creating obstacles.
That's fine.
And I'll sleep right in the choke point. Like I'm just gonna sleep on the ground. So if something comes out, they're gonna wake me up.
Okay. So let me know what your watches are. For me, I always set up 4 watches. Because you're an elf, Hal, you can take 2 watches.
Fuck yeah.
If you chose to.
I'll take the first one because I'll be drinking and watching.
I'll take the second one.
Hal, you're taking 3rd and
Yeah, I'll take third and fourth.
3rd and last? Okay. And then Luna, you're up with Hal as well to take last. Okay, so roll me perception checks in order.
Yes, I notice all the things.
Excellent. And then Honu, roll me a. Actually, I'll do it. Okay. And we'll take this opportunity as we take the first sleep in to take like a 3 or 4 minute break. So get a drink, bio, etc. Whatever you need.
Do you?
Give me a second.
Yeah, apparently I decided to go fishing on my watch. Not paying attention.
Not paying attention. That's Sam's new character.
Hey Kev, do we have an end time for tonight?
Sure.
About an hour, right?
About an hour. Why? Do you need to head off at some time?
I have to be at work in 5 hours.
Okay. Well, we'll call it in what, like an hour's time? You reckon?
That's fine.
Okay. Is there a better time for us to run this game? Do you think like earlier?
Like an hour
I can do this in the.
or-
I could do this like in the morning New Zealand time if that's easier for these guys.
Well, like my work hours are anywhere from my time, like 8 hours from now, to um, God, 6 hours for you guys.
I could also do it in the early in the morning, like even as early as like 10 a.m. or something, which would be
Just like 1 or 2 hours earlier would be a little bit better, I think.
like 5 p.m. for you guys.
Yeah,
which,
I could do 10 a.m.
because we lost an hour because of stupid daylight savings, so we started at 10 our time instead of 9 normally. Stupid daylight savings.
I brought you to a map. There's no reason at all.
Okay. You're gonna show me the river where all the fishers are. I got you.
That's precisely the reason why.
A
No other
black
reason
map?
at all.
I appreciate it. It really helped with my immersion.
Oh yes, that's right. The map isn't filled in yet because I haven't dropped your tokens on there, right? Huh, something fucked up. But you guys just see blackness, right?
Yeah.
My bad then. I'll sort this out in a moment. Give me a second while I have to slightly alter this map because reasons and other things that you guys don't need to worry about.
Yeah, you're changing all the fishes. I got you.
Drop your tokens here. Pull it from the landing page. That should work fine. Copy. And paste. And let me know if you guys can see stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Stuff is seen.
I'll totally be in my big pimp tip.
Yep. And that is the correct size, by the way. So. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Never mind. I think I'm totally like on the ball here, like not fucking around. Let me check your lighting. You should be able to see this fireplace, so I don't know why that's not working. Let me try this.
Yes.
That works.
Hano, your dark visions and how your dark visions are working, yes?
Yep.
Alright, so first watch, Pylos. During your watch, as you sit upon like a tree stump and look out over the hills, you notice that up in the hillside, I will bring you back to the overworld map because that's all we needed for that map.
Weird
Right.
question. Has it been? This is the first time we've started to rest since the previous fight, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'm still at 19 hit points. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see up in the hillside towards your northwest, about 4 miles away, 2 miles away, 4 miles away, a series of lights up on the hillside, almost like travelers carrying lanterns. And I'm talking about, this is like miles away, like up on the hillside. And they're headed, as you watch their slow progress, as they fade behind trees, behind outcrop bluffings and stuff like that, you see them head southwest in this direction. You can see this, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. They never approach you. They never head in your direction. Instead, they're passing from like a this direction. And at some point, they fade behind some sort of like hill range or something, and they vanish from sight. But nothing else happens during your watch. When you go to wake up Honu, do you relay this information to him? And what exactly are you saying?
Who, me?
Yes, your first watch, so when you go to hand off your watch and go to sleep.
I'll tell him that there's some sort of people with lights in the distance, but they seem to not have noticed us.
I'll take a picture of it from a distance.
There's no reading on your
That's fine.
I'll also tap him and I'll say, if you need someone to create lights.
Also, when you take a picture, there's no lights because it's already passed. You're just taking a picture into the dark.
I'll use dancing lights and I'll put like 3 lights around his head.
Oh, I can see fine, brother. I appreciate it, but this don't bother me none.
I can't see, and I'm gonna go to bed into my tent. Is there anyone did anyone else use my tent, or do I have this 4-person tent to myself?
Well, you said previously that you're using it for yourself, so
I mean, people can use it if they really wanted to.
if they really wanted to.
It's not like I wanted you in my tent or anything. Back up.
I mean, if they really wanted to, fine. Is dancing lights it's not, is it?
No, it's gonna hang around Hollow's head for.
How long is the duration?
It is. Oh, it is concentration up to a minute.
Okay,
So as soon as I walk into my tent, they disappear.
Yeah, as soon as you start going to bed, they disappear. All right, so
catch one for a bit. Like, ooh, this is neat. There's a little Latin bug. Try to grab it.
So Hanu, you've heard, and you know, by the way, it's not that you've heard. You know that the best time to fish is now, midnight.
Oh, absolutely. It's night. Everyone's, and I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna do both. I'm good at multitasking.
And so roll me a survival check.
There we go.
Okay, roll me a 1d4 and then a 1d2.
Roll ones, baby.
That's amazing.
Either got the biggest fish here or the smallest.
That's amazing. So you get a bite. You get a bite, and then carefully, ever so carefully, you know, jerk the pole to fasten the hook, and then the thing starts fleeing, and it has quite a pull. Like it, you must have caught like an amazing fish because it's pulling. Roll me like a strength check. I'll allow you to use athletics if you wanted to.
Oh, man.
All right.
I'm good at it. I'm rolling shit.
It's fine because it's a fish. So yeah, you reel it in just fine. I mean, it puts up quite the struggle, but you are an experienced fisherman. You pull it in, and you're expecting like some big trout or something, something that's got quite a bit of a fight, and you pull it up, and it's a goldfish. It's a large goldfish, but it's a goldfish.
Is it like a known species of goldfish, or is it like something fancy?
You recognize it as a goldfish. You typically find them in like aquariums and fish tanks.
I will clean it and say, "Ooh, that'd be for breakfast." They're making a little sandwich.
Okay. You don't get ambushed and murdered during your watch, despite your poor perception roll. So as you decide to call it a day and pack it in, you go and wake up. I believe the next person on the list is Hal, right?
Yep.
Hal, as an elf, you trance. So whilst you've been trancing, you have been aware of Talos and Honu's shenanigans. It's just you weren't really paying attention. You were in a faraway place in your mind.
I am in my happy place.
Yeah. But yeah, the Honu comes and wakes you up. Honu, do you share any information about your activities or
I will tell him
Talos' findings?
There's something up there that's not coming near. And if he wants, he can have half of the little fish. You got to cook it. But if he wants, he can try fishing it for himself. They're biting. And like Linda my fishing pole if he wants it.
I will gladly decline the offer of fish for now.
All
Because
right.
we've still got one good berry left. Do they like expire after one day?
Yes, they do.
24 hours.
Yeah. So she's going to chuck her last good berry in her mouth and she's going to take her watch, keeping an eye on the lights. Although the lights might be a distraction, so she's going to occasionally spin around and look behind her as if something's creeping up on her.
The lights aren't there anymore, by the way. The lights ended hours ago during Talos.
Well, she's going to do that by watching in the direction that the lights were.
I've got a curious question for you guys.
I have a curious answer.
Okay. This is a question for all of you, so you guys can answer one at a time if you want. Of all of you, how many of you are carrying metallic objects, and how much metal are you carrying?
I have no metal on me.
God, I have so much metal.
Tylos, you really have no metal on you?
The lid's on the bottle of my scotch. A
That's-
mineral, maybe.
Is the surveyor? Yeah.
I don't even have like a dagger or.
Yeah, in the same way.
I do.
Arrowheads.
I don't take any weapons.
I've got like a fucking chain. I've got my sledgehammer, a wood axe, a fucking shovel, carpenter's tools, 10 metal chakrams, a metal quarterstaff, a metal grappling hook, a metal short sword, a quiver, and 40 arrows.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. You're definitely carrying the most metal out of everyone. I don't think
maybe my earrings.
your earrings are made out of some sort of. Yeah, they're
but
metal, but they're not.
They have a slight metal hook, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the scope thingy, the surveyor tool, is that made of metal?
It's made out of some kind of metal, yeah. But
I
out
have
of all
that,
of you,
and I have the axe, the hand axe for the chopping down trees. That's it.
okay. So how it is, I think, fortuitous, or maybe just the fates that you're on watch, and you rolled quite high, didn't you?
23.
So you start hearing. At first, you think it's some sort of like a door hinge coming from the west, from some distance, and then you start hearing sounds of like clacking, like two dulled pieces of metal, just clacking against each other.
Hell is going to be crushed beside Honu because Honu is her first priority of wake the fuck up.
Okay. And
I
also,
just laid on the ground when I woke him up, right where he, if he was in the tent, I just laid down next to it on the dirt and just went to sleep.
Also, Hal, you've already finished the long rest, so you can restore everything if you want.
I can do what, sorry?
You've already finished the long rest, so you can return all of your expended stuff to.
I don't think I had anything expended, so
You
I
had
did lose some
lost
health.
hit points,
Yeah. Righto, that's done. Oh god.
Right. And the sounds start growing louder, and you hear the sounds of like squealing, like it's all metallic sounds, like squealing, clanking.
And it is noticeably getting louder.
Some sort of rattling. Yeah, it's loud enough that you can hear it with your elven senses. It's probably not loud enough to wake up people who are deep in slumber.
So she's
probably snoring
loud as well.
So I'm assuming Honu fell asleep near her, was it?
Yeah, I think he said that he wanted to sleep near where the gap in the fortifications is, so it's about here.
So Hal's probably at the front here, ready to wake him up if something happens.
Yeah. You can tell that whatever it is definitely getting louder. So you would hazard a guess that it's headed in your direction. You would expect that the sounds at the moment is probably 150 feet out, maybe 100 feet, depending on how loud it actually is.
100 feet? Jesus Christ, I'm waking him up.
Alright, so how...
Yeah, so
why are you waking me up? It ain't even morning yet.
It's going to be a tap and then a gentle sort of hand on the mouth and, a shake of the head
yeah.
Shh, be quiet.
You've barely been more than asleep for more
she's
than
gonna
an hour.
tap. Yeah, she's going to tap her ear and point in the direction the sound's coming from.
Okay, roll me a perception check on it and I'll give you advantage. Yeah, you definitely hear what she's talking about. There's some sort of weird metallic clanking, squeaking, rattling coming from the west, about 100 to 150 feet away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of squint and say, I'm gonna go investigate.
No, don't go and investigate. Stop. Alright, we got a defensive position here.
Okay, I'll wait for it. And then I'll just kind of get there and crack my neck and kind of start stretching out a bit and getting ready for whatever it is. If I see anything, I'm literally going to grab it.
Yeah, Hella's going to wait by Tyler's tent, not rushing in yet. She doesn't want to wake up everyone yet. But if shit is going to hit the fan, she's going to wake him up.
Okay.
You can see an empty bottle on the ground outside the tent.
Drunk snore.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw, Titles. Just to see how out of it you are. Hey, you're fine.
I'm a seasoned veteran, man.
You're a seasoned veteran, yeah. You're fine. So, Honu, do you have dark vision? You do have dark vision.
Yes, I do.
You see, before you, emerging from the deep depths of the forest. What appears to be like dull red glints in the shapes of eyes. And as they emerge into the edges of your dark vision, you see several of Denny's automatons. However, these are much more menacing looking. They're rusted and pitted clockwork automatons carrying these like sharpened metal scrap blades on their left forearm, and they've got their right forearm pointed directly straight at you, accusatorily, like Ace Detective or Ace Lawyer from
Objection.
Objection, yes.
I didn't even do anything. I don't know what the problem is.
But yes, I would like for everyone to roll initiative. If I bring up the initiative tracker thing. How do I do that again?
Hurry up.
It's already up.
It's been up the entire time.
How come I can't remember? I'll reload my
That
client.
sounds about right.
That, get rid of that. There's 2 tiles. Which one was the one that's just rolled? Get rid of that. No, that was the one that. God damn it. Let me try this again. I'll just add you guys and then I'll add your rolls. Because I'm a clever. Tylos's roll is 10.
10.04.
0.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
you're-
Damn it.
Oh, that's
You get that. No, that's good because it means you can act right after I wake you up.
True.
And then I'll just roll for these guys in a single roll. Because that's their nature. Initiative. Alright, so Luna, you're asleep. Actually, Luna, I'll allow you to make a perception roll. Okay, so yeah, you hear Hal and Honu muttering about something, and then Hal's his tone grows concerned or alarmed, and he says something like that sounds like he's waking up Tylos, and you kind of like come to wakefulness as well. And you glance down the tree, and you can see Hal in the process of going into Tylos's tent and muttering something in alarm, and Honu looks like he's squaring off against something, holding his weird tooth blade.
I'm not even wearing that. It's still on my back. I got my hands like I'm about to wrestle.
Okay.
I hold action.
Okay. What are you holding action to do?
She wants to see them, so she's going to cast her produce flame and make it into range. Then she'll throw it at them.
Okay. And what is the range of your produce flame? Excellent. 30 feet. Hal, what are you doing?
She's going to rush out of her tent. She's going to draw her short bow as she heads out, crouch behind whatever the fuck this is, and she's going to prepare an arrow at anything that gets within range. I think it is within range, but...
Do you spend your action to wake Tylos up, or are you just like nudging him and then running off?
It's probably going to be a mutter, then a nudge, then she's going to notice the, things coming in the periphery and then go, shit. Just nudge him, then run out.
Yeah, okay, so I'll explain to you the mechanical difference. The mechanical difference is if you use your action to wake him up, he'll be awake for this turn.
I'm assuming just nudging him needs a perception roll.
I'll let him have a perception roll, but it'll be an advantage because you're waking him up.
He's rolled really well on perception so far, so I'm hoping.
Okay, so you knock your bow and do you let loose? They're within range.
Yeah, I'll just take a shot because I'm within range.
Sleeping
Right.
off that drunk.
You already rolled
12.
at advantage, so.
I did already roll advantage.
So your arrow, you fire your arrow and it slams into this thing's forehead, and there's a screech of metal as its head is thrown back. But then when its head snaps back, you see that your arrow just like cut a gash across its forehead that didn't do any kind of damage, and it's like left like a metallic scrape, and it's got these red, baleful-looking eyes. Let me see if I can find a picture to illustrate to you what this looks like. Something like that. Tyler,
Okay.
you are asleep. You slowly come to consciousness as Hal like nudges you in somewhere, possibly inappropriate, but I don't know. I don't think this is the correct game for that. That's the other game.
Oh, it is.
Okay, but yeah, you come to wakefulness. But for now, I'll say that your action was to wake up. You probably have your movement.
I'll roll a
Yeah.
d20 to see where I kicked him.
I take off my you know how like people sleep with those eye things, the masks
yeah.
over their eyes. Yeah, I take mine off, and I sort of slowly like I don't like register the panic because I got kicked and then like she's left. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get up, fine. I like put on my clothes and I pick up my book.
You want to take a
And I'm
moment
just-
to put on your makeup before you get out?
Yeah. You know, my eyeliner and shit.
Gotta prestidigitate that shit on real quick.
You know, and I like, you know, make sure my beard's all okay, and then I'm gonna step out of there.
All right.
Maybe to like there, and then be like, oh, it was important. Okay.
Right, this thing steps forwards and it starts walking in your direction. It gets to here, Luna, which I think is within range of your produce flame, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've already casted it, right?
Yeah.
So 17 is a hit. You set it on fire for 4 fire damage. You watch like flames and stuff start flickering out of the clockwork mechanisms, and you see like there's like popping and crackling sounds as you hear like springs or whatever mechanisms inside break. This thing like kind of like seizes a bit. One of its arms goes like all jerky. Its left arm with this scrap blade goes like flailing all over the place and like hacks down this bush that it just like stumbled into as like smoke and fumes are coming out from its mouth and its rib cage. It levels its right arm accusatorily at Hal, and there's a puff sound, like a quite loud puff sound, and a hexagonal, 1-inch long ferrous iron bolt slams you directly in the chest. Hal, what's your AC again?
16.
Yeah, so yeah, it slams you directly in the chest, dealing you 6 piercing damage.
She starts hissing and clawing at this thing.
Yeah, it's not like embedded in your chest or anything. It might be sticking out. Who knows? Maybe it like cracked a rib. So yeah, its buddy starts walking up beside it. It also levels its bolt thrower at you, hitting you again for 6 piercing damage. This one striking you in the thigh, knocking you sideways a little bit. The third one marches up. Are you unconscious, by the way?
No, she's got 3 hit points.
The third one marches up, and as you lurch sideways from being struck in the thigh, you hear another bolt just whip straight past your ear and out into the distance and splashing into the mist. And the last one strikes you in the forehead, knocking you out, dealing 8 piercing damage.
Sure.
Honu, it is your turn as you see these metal automatons stride out of the forest. They all seem, for some reason, ignoring everyone else and concentrated on your elven companion here.
Well, I was going to take a picture, but now that they've knocked Hal out, I'm going to rage, and I'm going to run and try to grapple this guy.
Okay, athletics versus. I don't think his acrobatics. No, actually, his acrobatics is better than his athletics.
Oh, man, I get advantage because of raging, but apparently I can't do dick.
So this you just find it's like weird. Like you go to grapple it, and like you successfully get in a grapple, and then you start doing like the standard headlock maneuvers and stuff. But then like to your surprise, its arm just like bends completely backwards, so you can find like no purchase. And when you try to like put it in a headlock, like it just has joints that don't fucking make sense. Like you can't put any kind of pressure on it, and it just like seems to twist and turn out of your grasp. Do you spend the rest of your movement?
Yeah. No, I'll stay there, but I'll yell like really angrily.
Okay, Luna. You saw an alarm as Hal gets struck several times by these like metal bolts that puff out from their right arms, and the last one strikes her in the forehead, and she pitches backwards and sprawls in the grass, sending up a plume of dirt. Robin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Let's throw another fireball.
So in case you didn't catch any of that, Hal got knocked out.
Oh, well then I'll go climb down my tree.
Or Hal pissed these things off somehow and got alpha struck.
I'll jump out of my tree instead.
Okay, you know the spike pit, the spike punji trench is there, so I'll let you jump out of it just fine.
Well, I'm technically in a tree.
Yeah, so you like jump, you like run over one of the branches and like hang off it, and then just like drop down. So you move up beside him.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know which square you want to be in. So yeah, you place your hand on her concussion, her head wound, and you mutter a word, and the injury seems to like reverse itself on this. And how do you come to consciousness with this little halfling friend, and several concerned-looking squirrels all staring down at you in a half semicircle.
I also hand him my 4 berries. Or 3 berries.
Okay. Hal, it's your turn. You're prone, but you're conscious.
Just check something right quick. Can I make some kind of check to see if, like, work out why they are firing at me? I know out of character, but, like, is there something I can do to say, hey, there's something funny about this? Or do I just think they really hate me for no apparent reason?
I would think at this stage they hate you for no apparent reason. No, you know what? Roll me an intelligence check. Just like a straight intelligence check. Yeah. They're racist. They hate elves.
Motherfuckers.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, the Windshore crew was all elves, and you're getting attacked like you're going after the elf.
Okay, so I'm assuming there's a tree trunk up where Luna is.
Yes. She's kind of behind it at the moment.
Okay, Hal's going to use half a movement to stand up. It's half movement, right?
Yep.
She's going to run around behind the tree trunk briefly. And then she is going to put her fists together. She is going to mutter a word under her breath and activate the Sunshot Medallion.
Okay, amazing. So you guys watch as she mutters this word in Celestial, and there's this flare of light from this medallion that she's been wearing upon her collar. And when the flare of light dims down, you can see that she's surrounded by what looks to be like this translucent, angular-looking plate armor that seems to be made out of semi-transparent light. And she's this glowing, full-plated warrior wearing essentially what is like Mass Effect hollow armor. And your AC is now 18, yes?
Yep. 18.
And you have 5 temporary hit points.
Yep.
And you are also glowing with light. So let me alter that.
Very pretty light. I want to specify it's very pretty light.
If I wasn't so angry, I would be entranced.
Yes, okay, that is your turn. Tylos!
So I'm going to use my special power as well to cast Twins spell. Use a sorcerer point.
What's this shenanigans? He's a wizard.
And I'm going to do magic missile. So it's going to cast 6 bolts.
Okay. I will allow that if you target them all at one creature. Because technically you can only twin spell a spell that targets one creature.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, smart.
But I will allow that if you target only one creature.
So I can only see 3 creatures.
Yep. Actually, you should be able to see all of them now.
One's like it's in darkness.
This one there.
Yeah, that one there I can see.
It's
That one I can't see.
all players should be able to see light from.
I don't have dark vision.
No. Hal is
see
emitting. Hal at the moment with her shining armor is emitting like 60 feet of light, 30 feet of
okay.
being bright.
It's sort of like quite dark, but that's okay. I'll pick the one that's like in the bushes over there. That one.
Okay. So roll me. 64.
Actually, no. I will cast. I'll cast it twice at him.
Okay. Just roll me 64 plus 6, I think.
It's the same damage throughout the whole thing. So, and then again. So, 12 plus 6.
No, it's separate rolls.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so just 66 plus 6. Or you could flick it 6 times, but that's like a lot of work.
There we go.
So yeah, you see Tylos, Tylos like mutter some arcane incantations, throw his hand forwards, and out from his palm, and also from the cap that's on his shoulders, shoots out multiple of these arcane missiles that arc off in all directions, and then like arc back around in a parabolic arc to strike this thing from all directions, and you just see it get torn apart by these like magic balls that slam into it from different directions as like its head comes off in one direction, its arm comes off in one direction and falls in one of these pits. It's one of his legs just gets blasted to gears and shards, and it just like completely gets disintegrated into just like components.
And then I am going to move. And sort of stand in the edge of my tent.
Okay. First blood. Actually, no, there's goblins involved. Never mind. Actually, no, you guys didn't kill any goblins. So
I
blood.
killed quite a few goblins, thank you very much, by making them fall off the roof.
Well, that's
Technically,
like,
that was gravity.
that's manslaughter. That's not murder.
Hey, still counts.
The intent was there.
All right. So first off, this automaton turns to engage you, Henry, and it slashes out at you with this sharp piece of scrap metal that's bolted to its left arm as it makes whirring noises from its mouth, and it stabs you in the shoulder blade for 2 piercing damage.
These guys are rolling really well.
Yeah, their damage is pretty shit though. And the second one directly in front of you slashes down at your thigh with also its scrappy-looking blade. Also beyond 5 piercing damages, it stabs you in the thigh. Oh, actually, no, 2 piercing damage.
I'll just go ahead and reduce it in my head. You don't have to do it for me. Or you can. It's up to you. You're the DM.
I will reduce it for you because there might be circumstances that like you deal whatever damage. This other one beside you ignores you completely, walks straight past you. You get an attack opportunity.
Ooh, I'm gonna try to punch him. No, I meant to do that. I didn't. So I'm just gonna unarmed. Roll D10 20 plus 3. You know, I'm just actually. You know what? Fuck it. 10.
So yeah,
I'm poop.
so yeah, you're too busy like fending off these 2 ones that are striking at you, and as this other one goes past you, you reach out to strike him, but he's already gone. As you reach out to strike him, you get stabbed in the thigh and like kind of lose your balance. It strides past you, it walks up to this glowing hell, and it attempts to stab her through the chest. And the stab just completely misses. You just dodge out of the way. Honu.
Alright, hold on. I'm gonna try to grapple this shithead again. Still raging.
Super delayed battle music. Let's go.
There we go. I got the little. This is shithead in front of me.
Yeah. I don't even think. I mean, yeah, it can make that. But... Yeah, no. Yeah. So this time you got it. You're like, surely it can't bend its like freaking waist around sideways and detach itself. So you like grab it around the waist and you spin up behind it, and you've got it like locked in this like
Got your ass now, asshole.
half Nelson kind of thing. So yeah, it is great.
Alright. That's me.
Okay, Luna.
Luna is having some fun. Luna is going to dire wolf.
Okay. I think I have a direwolf token. Do I?
It doesn't matter. It's medium or large.
Is there any way we can turn down the music somewhat?
You can turn it down on your end, in the master control volume in the gear section.
Thank you.
So she's just a large creature at the moment, so she's gonna fight.
What's your HP?
Oh, that's a good
Luke?
question. That is Direwolf. It's 37.
Holy shit! Can you turn into a direwolf at level 1? Sorry, level 2. That's crazy.
I should be able to. Because of the
Circle of the Moon?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll just say for that for now. I'll check up on the rules later, but level 1, you can use your wild shape to transfer into beast rating and challenge rating as high as 1. Direwolf's rating is 1, yeah, so fully legit. So you turn into a direwolf. And you can bite twice, right? Or is that a double click?
No, I did
No.
the creature rating 1 direwolf large creature.
No, you click direwolf bite twice by accident, I think.
Then I was just click it once.
And you have pack tactics, yes?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's the reason. So you had advantage. So it's a 20. So yeah, you tear, you grab onto its metallic leg. Your fang screeches. It tears into this rusty like metal, and you tear away some kind of like hydraulic or mechanism there. Some it's kind of like viscous oil squirts up in like one of your ears and starts dripping. And a bunch of other miniature direwolves, like cat-sized direwolves, circle around this thing and just yap a whole bunch. Do you want to use your bonus action to make that secondary attack?
Yes, I do. I gotta look at that.
Alright. So roll an additional attack roll. And roll a 1d4. Yeah, so you watch as these miniature direwolves, just like miniature copies of her cat size, swarm all over this thing and begin nibbling at its feet and its thing. And it as like these translucent direwolves, miniature direwolves tear away little gears and bolts and stuff like that. This thing seizes and stuff and goes to its knees. It's actually 7 plus 4. Yeah. It's clearly heavily injured. It's like you would say it's bloody. It's oily. How?
It needs a strength save.
Oh right, strength saving throw. That's a check, but it's the same thing. DC 10, so it beats it.
It actually should be DC 13.
Oh, okay. It says DC 10. Yeah. So yeah, combine effort between all of your companions and etc. Actually, your attack goes first, so it falls prone. Then your companions attack. So, but it's the same roll. Never mind. It's still alive. It's prone. It's seizing on the ground as these direwolf puppies swarm all over it, nibbling it to bits. Hal, it is your turn.
Okay. Hal's going to drop her bow for the moment. She's going to reach onto her back and pull out this sort of 4 foot long tube or cylinder of some kind. And she grabs it in the middle, sort of with both hands, gives it a sharp twist, and then both halves sort of pop apart as a telescope on this centerpiece, extending to about 6.5 feet long. And she runs toward the guy in front of her. She stabs the quarterstaff down into his stomach as she tries to pole vault over it to land behind it.
Roll
Just
an
like the
attack
attack
at
roll.
advantage.
Oh, I hit twice, sorry. So 22 for 11, Jesus.
24 because you had advantage.
Oh, right.
Like I said, just leave it on roll 2. By the way.
Leave what, sorry?
Leave your character sheet on roll 2.
Is that advantage
Right,
plus?
yeah.
I don't think it's advantage plus.
I'll make a test roll on regular advantage.
Go to your cog
Oh god,
area,
What happened?
and then go to roll 2.
My whole sheet just fucking broke. Whatever you did, please don't do that. Is it fixed? I don't know. So 24 for 6 damage.
Yeah. So yeah, you bring your quarterstaff down on this thing's head. It just shatters, and like cogs and wheels and little springs and mechanisms go flying in all directions as you vault over its body. It spasms once and then goes still.
Which of those ones up there is being held by Anu?
The one with the little fist icon around it.
Okay, so that was 5, 10 feet movement, so I'll go 15, 20, 25, 30. She'll run up here and make her unarmed attack at the one who's being grappled.
Okay.
You got advantage.
No, you don't.
His advantage was grappled.
And she just sort of runs past and launches a haymaker at this thing as she approaches.
It's restrained that gives advantage.
Oh, alright.
Alright, so yeah, you throw this haymaker and you hit it in its jaw. And its jaw just comes straight off. Like, you smash like half this thing's face right off. Like, whatever metal that it's made of, it's clearly heavily rusted and structurally compromised. And just the pure act of your brutal like fist to the face just like smashes loose like a whole bunch of rusted metal. And it's half its face is now missing, but it's still up. Tylos.
I'm going to have fire come from both of my hands as I use another sorcery point to fire 2 firebolts at the one that Hano is not grabbing.
Okay. Now, because whoa, Which one is the first one? Oh, it's the one he's not grabbing.
The crit, yeah. So
the second one
That one.
misses, but the
Yeah.
first one, it doesn't matter because the first one hits it, and it just explodes. It explodes, like sending fragments of metal flying everywhere, setting half the bushes and stuff on fire. Honu, I would like for you to roll me a deck save.
All right. Do you have what's called? Is danger sense?
What level do you get danger sense? I think it's level 2, right?
Well, you know what? I should. Maybe
You should.
wrong. I don't.
You should know this
no?
stuff.
Yeah, danger sense.
Yeah, so roll with advantage, deck save advantage.
Oh well.
So you get showered by burning oil and shrapnel and metal parts, and you take 1 point of combined fire/piercing damage. It's actually 2 points, but it's reduced to 1.
The piercing I resist, the fire I don't.
It's like a mixture combination. It's
Gotcha.
fun. Do you move anywhere, Tyler?
Yep. Backwards.
Okay. The one that's grappled by you, Honu,
Mm-hmm.
it ignores you completely, and it turns completely around while you're grabbing it by the hips. The top half of it rotates 90 degrees to the right and slashes out at Hal. And
that misses.
the slash cuts into like the translucent armor or whatever it is, and there's like a bright flash of light as this thing's blade is like repelled away from the armor, dealing no damage. Honu, it is now your turn.
The one I've grappled, I'm just going to punch him in the back of the head. And it's a D2, so it's 5 damage. Oh, never mind, it's a miss. I don't have advantage, that's right.
No, you don't have advantage.
I don't know why I think I do, I'm a dummy.
No. Luna.
There's still one up.
Yes, there's still one up.
So as the wolf will go over here.
You should have. Oh, actually, never mind.
I do not hit.
Yeah, you run up to engage it, but between it kind of being suspended off the ground, and Honu kind of like trying to clock this thing on the back of the head as this thing's like futilely reaching out and trying to slash at Hal. You try and bite it, but you can just find no purchase. It just keeps scraping off its like backside.
It's okay, we'll try it again. Or with at least what the demons.
That has to be if you hit.
Oh, okay. Then I'm in.
Hal, it is your turn.
Okay, Hal's gonna make an attack with her quarterstaff again. Alright, so she grabs her quarterstaff, twists both ends, and sort of compacts it back into its compact form. Then she stabs it forward and causes it to extend as she stabs.
Yeah. So you just like, as Honu is kind of holding this thing up, almost like he's holding out a pinata for you to hit. You just like extend your staff and you just punch the rest of this thing's head clean off its shoulder, and like a cut puppet, this construct of metal just slumps in Honu's arms and goes completely still. It slumps backwards over Honu's arms and goes completely still. And the head flies off past over Luna and past off into the bush to thump into the bush. And Luna, I would like for you to roll me a wisdom saving throw. Alright. You feel a strong compulsion to go fetch the head.
I'll gladly do that.
Alright, so the combat's over. As you guys take a moment to collect your wits, as you've just been assaulted by a bunch of robots that look strikingly familiar to the one that Danny is operating in the Stumbling Tavern. Luna comes back clasping this half-scrapped head, skull in her mouth, and then drops it at your feet, Hal.
Hal sort of slides away from it a wee bit, just sort of glaring at it, looking quite pissed off.
I'm gonna investigate the bodies to see like if they have anything on them.
Okay. Roll me an investigation. So you can tell that, yes, again, the entire thing seems to be made out of like this like ferro steel. Like at least the outer carapace. The outer carapace, the almost like armor plating that it has on the exterior that's covering its innards, its clockwork innards, is similarly made out of this ferro steel, but it's heavily damaged. Like it looks like it's been through a dozen battles without maintenance or repair. Like and several of these robots are like these constructs are missing entire sections of the armor, like it has been torn away. They don't look to be in good repair. They seem very damaged, very faulty, very rusty.
One got exploded. Two got exploded.
Yeah.
I'm more
I
trying to
mean-
take a picture of what's left.
Okay. There's the perks that pop up of unknown construct, ferrous steel construction, unknown construction, unknown model, unknown capabilities, and then there's like a caution tag below that says actually no, never mind. There's no caution tag. Yeah, you don't get additional information, but you do get the query link, like the association link that is associated with, again, Denny's construct robot. That it's like the two are similar enough that the database has noted it. But beyond that, yeah, Talos, you don't find anything else that jumps out at you. There's no chest bursters, for example.
Well, that might serve as an explanation for what happened to the other party. Somebody really doesn't like elves.
Is that why they all went for you?
I mean, why else? There seems to be a very definite common factor here.
Actually, you're all looking over these bodies, right?
Yep.
So Talos, roll me another. Like I said, keep it on roll 2 so that if you have advantage, I can just tell you. That's the same thing. Never mind.
See, when I put advantage, it rolls like, and it only gives you the highest one.
No, so go to your sheet.
Yeah.
And take it to the cog menu. So the options, the settings menu. And
Yeah.
on the right hand side, you should be able to see an option that says roll 2. No, not edit mode. You see that little like cog between character and all?
Yeah.
And on the right hand side, there should be roll 2.
There you go. Roll options advantage.
Below it says roll 2.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So now whenever you roll, it'll show up like Luna's roll, that there will be 2 rolls. And if for some reason, if you have advantage and I haven't told you,
There you
or
go.
you have disadvantage I haven't told you, I can
Yeah,
tell
that
you
works.
just like based off that. Alright, so Hal believes there's some sort of racism involved here.
I feel like that's a
Racist
perfectly...
Terminators.
It seems like a reasonable thing to jump to, given the situation.
I'll agree with Hal. I'll be like, well, they didn't touch anyone else apart from you, Hal.
Yeah, they
Speak for yourself, brother. And I'll be messing with my cut thigh.
yeah.
He looks the same as he always does, like, at least to me.
Speaking of racism,
I'll be like, well, then I'll hand over a bottle of scotch to him.
So Hanu, roll a Constitution save against tetanus. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but yeah, I think we're hitting the time limit.
Yep.
So that's a curious question. Yes, Robin. How early do you want to push it back? Because like I said, like I'm running this at 3 p.m. in the afternoon to like 6 p.m. So I'm fine to push it all the way back to the morning if you wanted to.
Well, the thing is I have generally from my time, like anywhere from 4 to 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. my time. So on a Saturday, it's generally just if we do just 2 hours back is actually better for me.
Okay, so we'll start at 1 p.m. Peter and Rex, if that's good with you guys.
I'll have to double check, but I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
It should be alright.
But yeah, I hope everyone had fun and enjoyed themselves. It's slightly ominous that they're racist robots.
I'm glad I got to shoot something.
You annihilated things.
They're just
Yeah.
jealous of my super good eyes.
Well, I'm supposed to. I'm a wizard.
Yeah, you're an evocation wizard, so like
Yeah.
your job is to annihilate things.
And I'm an academy wizard as well too, so
Yeah.
I should be.
Oh, by the way,
Be,
I should point this out to you guys. That like Tylos is clearly a wizard from the academy, and like just think of the academy as like Hogwarts, but if it was Oxford or like Yale.
Snooty Hogwarts.
Yeah, like
I mean, if you guys haven't noticed, I haven't
So
been
the
participating in
Boston-
your hijinks.
So the French Hogwarts, Boston.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
Not the French. Not the French.
No,
As
they-
rats.
so I'm
Don't associate me with the French. More like
Well, we can't say Bulgaria.
Well, like-
because they don't
more
have
like
that.
the Swedish ones.
We never
Yeah.
met them because we met the French and the Bulgarians.
So yeah, so he's very clearly
Like British, like deep British, like old school, like 16th century British.
Someone in his family definitely had a title.
yeah, possibly.
Like
But
the
yeah,
extraordinary
that-
men gentlemen.
Academy wizards have a reputation of being like the best, like graduates. Anyway, I hope everyone had fun.
That was indeed had.
I'll catch some of you on Monday. Any thoughts, concerns?
Mm.
I apologize for alpha striking you, Rex. It's
So if the enemies could like roll a bit lower next time, that'd be fantastic.
it's not because I hate you. There's actual like more reasons for this.
Because they're
I
like
get it.
elves.
Yeah, they really don't like elves.
Yeah,
Anyway, I've got to go, so I'll see you guys all later.
no worries.